In this video, I will teach you how to navigate the file tree and how to find your files and how to make sure that you can find them later. So first, let's look here at this diagram. Over here we see the C drive, and you will have multiple drives on your computer. You might have a U drive if you've contacted the ATUS here at Western, and you could have a different letter drive for like a flash drive or something like that. But I just want to go over an example of if you're here on campus, what good data management looks like and what poor data management looks like. So this first path up here that we see is an example of good data management. I would be able to find my folders again later with this path. So the first folder here is just my users folder on the C drive, and then this is my username. And then within that, I've created two folders with the lab titles, and so I know where to find these things again. So for example, in Lab 2, this would be my project folder, which I would make when I opened up ARC. And within this, there will be a number of items. And let's switch to another diagram. So within this project, and this is the same thing that we saw on the previous screen, you have your APRX file, and this is the project itself. This is the ArcGIS Pro project file. And then you'll also notice that there are some other things that are also generated when you first open Arc Pro. Every project that you open will automatically have these other folders in here, with the exception of this one. So this is a toolbox here, and this is where you can keep model builder files, things like that. So you won't be working with those right away, but eventually you will. And then this here is a geodatabase.gdb, and this is where all the files that you make within your project, all of your data files, those will automatically go into this geodatabase. So this is very important. This is where all of the data you make in the software will be stored. And then this lab 2, this data folder here, this represents data that I would have downloaded like from online. So data that came from a different source that I didn't generate myself. Things that I generate myself will be in the geodatabase, but data that I take from online, I have to put it into this project folder. And this is very important because if your data is not inside the same folder as your project file, every time you move your project, you will have missing data problems, and this can be very scary. But it will be okay as long as you always download your data within the same folder. Okay, and then we have two other folders here that are automatically generated when you make a project in ArcGIS Pro, and I've never used them. You won't use them. I would say don't delete them, but you don't need to worry about these for now. So I like to think of the project folder, which would be, for example, this folder here, as a backpack. So every time you move to a different computer, you need to take your entire project folder. And again, that would be this lab folder that I had created. Because if you don't, if your data is not within that same exact folder, you will have problems with missing data. You'll get really alarming red exclamation points, And you may think that you've lost all of the work that you did, but it's okay as long as you put your data in this folder. Back in this diagram, I'd also like to show you an example of poor data management, which would be this bottom part here. So first mistake is not naming your folder, because when I'm just in the C drive, all I see are these folders here, the first ones, and I have to double click on these in order to get to subsequent folders. So if I just have a random folder called new folder, I have no idea what's in that. So this is already bad. And then this is okay, I guess. GIS, sure, you put your GIS stuff there. And then you get to lab 2 and you go, okay, here's my project folder. But then when you click on it, there's more folders in it. And if I double click on this, oh look, there's my lab 2 folder again. So you don't want to have folders within folders that have the same name. This is very confusing and also redundant. And the other thing that is wrong with this here is that the data that I downloaded is not within the project folder that has my actual .aprx file in it. So if I, for example, moved this this folder here to a different drive, to like a U drive or like a flash drive or something, and I tried to open up this file, I would get these scary missing data things. And so it's very important that we keep the data that we download within the same exact folder as the project. So I hope this is helpful. And those were some basic data management tips for ArcGIS Pro.